morning everyone, it's Yvonne back to do your bonus read. I want to say thank you because I know that I've been putting a couple of extra readings up the last few days. I won't always have time to do that, but sometimes I do, and it's pretty awesome. So I do whatever I can when I can. I'm on holidays from next week, so I'm hoping, oh, that's a pretty sort of hard card to get out at the moment. But I should imagine this is a lot of people at the moment. This is the card of anxiety, sleepless nights, worry. If you're in this energy at the moment, it's really difficult because I don't want to sort of say, move on, let it go. You can't worry about things that haven't happened. You can't worry about what's going on. But what you can do is you can alleviate the worry by going with the flow. And we just had that in the What's Cracking reading. So this time is, yes, it's a pretty sort of worrying time, but you can do things to help you not have to worry so much. So maybe look at what your internal resources are here, because that came up strongly in the What's Cracking reading. Looking at, what do you have that helps you out in this time? So sometimes, making sure that you're safe when you go out, making sure you have enough food, making sure you've got contacts with people, because a lot of us live alone. Because of that, we don't always have someone to talk to. I have to say to you, I talk to myself all the time. Sometimes I actually catch myself talking to myself and I think, wow, I'm just waiting for myself to start arguing back again. Because you do get a little bit cabin fevery, and watch that movie with The Shining. Don't watch the movie The Shining if you're scared at the moment, please. It is about cabin fever. This card here says to me that you have more resources than what you're taking time out to realise. So a lot of us don't realise our own personal strengths until we are struck with something that puts us in the position of having to face or deal with something. And when we get through that, it's sort of like sometimes you look back and you think, wow, I cannot believe I got through that time. I cannot believe, that happened. And look, I'm here still and I'm surviving and I'm doing what I need to do. Okay, I have the Arcanum Tarot here, if you're wondering which deck this is. And I have the card of balance coming out, Temperance. Now, the Temperance card has come out a little bit in the last few days, and I think that the universe is calling us to work out what we need to balance our lives out. And as I said in the What's Cracking reading, this is the time to really look at your patterns, your health, your, what you're doing to look after yourself, because sometimes, especially in these sort of times, we tend to go into care mode or looking after everybody else and not taking care of our own health or responsibilities. It's always like I see, Spirit often shows me, when you're on a plane and the oxygen masks drop down and they say to you, you can't look after other people unless you've got your own mask on, so do that first. And it's a great lesson for many of us to understand that actually that's a really good point, because if you're not looking after yourself, how do you take care of other people? So the Temperance card is about finding that balance. We see her pouring all four elements into this bowl here, and mixing them all together to get a really nice balance of all four. So just remember that's really about self-care at the moment. So the Three of Wands is a card of looking out, waiting for your ships to come in. So it's sort of like you're waiting here, waiting for, so I sort of get this energy at the moment because it's very much about, using time wisely. Don't be just standing around waiting. Use this time to really understand. Oh, here's the Nine of Swords again. So I tell you, they do come out. The Nine of Swords is a card of sleepless nights and anxiety. And I feel strongly here, the universe is saying to you, use this time wisely. Don't, just sit around waiting for things to change. This is a time to do those things that you need to do. Do that course. yeah, don't sort of get stuck in, you know, your bad habits while you're home. Try to look at what you need to change. The victory card's behind this. So I sort of really like this energy here, because I feel that a lot of us sometimes don't realize the resources we have at our hands, our fingertips. So good time to do that. Now, also just mentioning for those people who are still going to work and those people who are caring for others, I know that everybody's saying thank you, and I know that everybody's sort of, you know, getting in on the energy of, you know, clapping and waving and all those sort of things. But from a personal perspective, from someone who worked in youth work for a long time and worked in disabilities for a long time as a frontline worker, before I got into management, I can remember very often, you know, getting colds and getting sick from things because you're constantly around people. Firstly, I want to say to you, make sure you do take care of yourself, whatever that takes, whatever you need to do, you make sure you take care of yourself first. Don't be so dedicated to the job you're doing that you forget to put things in place to keep yourself healthy. I saw a very sad post on Facebook, you know, about families where one person was out working in the public and of course couldn't really stay with their family during that time. So a lot of people are staying in other places while they're working on the front line. What I do want to say is a huge thank you to you people, because you are you are the front line for our world. You are saving lives and caring about people that some of us don't have the ability or are not in the position to do anymore. And because of that, I want to say your heart is precious to the world. You are precious, but remember to take care of yourself. So don't put everybody else before yourself. Make sure that you are in that position. So we have the King of Wands coming out here. So the King of Wands represents the fire signs. But the King of Wands is a person who's taken leadership. They're very, very much in charge of their world. They have a lot of passion that they put into everything they do. And they're taking that on the chin, like they're going with it. So it makes them look very confident, very attractive. So you could be dealing with someone who's like this, or this can be your energy. Okay, so we have the Seven of Swords coming in, which of course was a card that came out in the What's Cracking reading. I particularly love this one here because you can see him grabbing the swords and ready to run away here, but he's leaving two behind. So this isn't a matter of, you know, greed or whatever else, because he's prepared to leave two swords behind. And what this implies is that someone is taking with them what they need here, the lessons they've learned. It also means that they may be not speaking up here because they've got these swords in their arms. They're holding tight to that. So someone here is not expressing themselves, not speaking up, not saying anything and trying to get away with it. Okay, and we have the Four of Cups. So again, a few repeat cards from the What's Cracking reading. So the Four of Cups is about boredom. It's about not accepting something here. So some of you are not accepting a particular situation with the High Priestess here because you don't have all the information, or because you're reading a lot more into this than actually is happening here. But this person who's coming forward to express this, whatever this situation is coming forward in good faith. So the High Priestess here asks us to, you know, tune into our inner selves to understand what's going on here. Someone looks as though they're coming in with some sort of apology, offer, something here. Very similar, someone from your past here with the Six of Cups. Okay, so it could be a family member or a friend. We do have the Nine of Cups, which again is the wish card, and that came out in the What's Cracking reading too. So you're getting a repeat reading today. Seven of Pentacles. This is something you've wanted, something you've wished for, something you've manifested here. Someone is coming back in to put something right for you. Now, it may not necessarily be about love, although we have a lot of cups in the reading today. I feel that this person either hasn't expressed themselves, told you how they felt, or really opened up to you. I feel for most of you this has been quite a long time of sitting in this energy here, waiting for something to happen. You could be dealing with someone that you have still a great deal of affection for or a great deal of love for. But again, yeah, the cycle has to be closed out. Okay. So something, see, the universe is putting things right at the moment. 6 of Pentacles. This is about give and take, equal give and take, sharing the wealth. And the old 8 of Cups, which has shown her face so many times in the last few days. So let's just go back to the initial read. We have you trying to find balance here. The universe is saying to you, whatever you're doing at the moment, the most important thing is that you are staying balanced. Don't stay in this energy of the 9 of Swords where you are, you know, constantly thinking about something in your head, sleepless nights. You've got to learn to get out of your head. Now, sometimes people say to me they can't, and that's absolutely silly. Of course you can. But it's about spending the time doing things to get out of your head. And that takes practice and it takes dedication. Meditation allows you to move away from this energy. This energy here is exhausting. So if you're feeling like you're tired all the time, it's because you're overthinking. But we do have a victory here. So something is definitely changing here in terms of this situation. So I feel like for some of you, this could be someone in your family, someone close to you. But for many of you, this is about love because that card, 2 of Cups, just jumped out. There's some sort of right. Okay, I've got it. There is some sort of connection here you have with someone that this person is here to put something right for you. Some sort of soulmate relationship, some sort of lesson here that you needed to learn. And it's about to be put right. But what's happened in the meantime, both you and the person responsible have both done a lot of learning. This person is having a lot of issue coming forward here because of the way they either broke things off, walked away, ghosted you, whatever it is. They've had a lot of remorse and a lot of pain, which has been there to serve them, but so has the energy for you. Because I see you understanding what you want in your life, what you desire, manifesting and bringing forth something here that gives you some sort of equal give and take. But moreover, it's about you walking away from things that no longer serve you. So many of you could have waited on someone to return, waited on an apology, waited on a situation to resolve itself. And I guess with these cards as they were up front, with the Temperance and the 3 of Wands, the universe is saying you can't put your life on hold here. This is a lesson you're learning, so you have to understand how to let energy go. Now, energy is a funny thing because this is something we're actually taught. It's a self-sacrifice, self-sabotage, suffering. And we did do that in the What's Cracking reading. So some of you have suffered in pain for a long time and put yourself through something which in fact you're looking at the pain and the suffering and the emotion rather looking at the reasons that you need to move on. And it could very much be about your emotional stuff here, allowing the emotional stuff to go, and closing out this cycle. You may have learned how to do this as a child, so you may put yourself through suffering unnecessarily because maybe you saw someone else do that in your life and they role modeled that to you. Maybe they made you responsible for everything, so you could have had a figure in your life, a role model in your life that made you feel like you were always responsible. So somehow or another you've taken on this responsibility. This person coming in and expressing themselves here will allow you to move forward, and that is what the 9 of Cups is here for. It's allowing you to learn the lesson and move on. So what will you think about if you no longer have to think about this situation? What will happen? What will happen? Because if this person comes in and expresses themselves to you and you don't have any reason to hang on anymore or any reason to move forward, you may not even want to be with this person. And what will you do then? Interesting, isn't it? What will you fill your mind with then? Are you going to be a person who learns that that isn't the healthy way to go? Or are you going to be a person who will find something else to fill your mind with? Very, very interesting. Okay, so I have the card of the Holy Mountain coming in here. And again, I will reiterate, look at that card. It's stunning, right? 25. Okay. Native people around the earth recognize mountains as places of great power when one encounters spirit or the gods or goddesses reside. In ancient Greece, Mount Olympus was the home of the 12 main gods and goddesses. In Tibet, pilgrims I can't even say that word. Circumambulate Mount Kailash to bring prosperity. In Peru, pilgrims climb the ice-capped Mount Angangate to receive the starlight and bring fire to the earth. Wow, that's a challenging read for me this morning. The Holy Mountain invites you to go on a sacred pilgrimage to acquire vision and perspective. That was perfect, wasn't it? First, you must accept the present situation as an opportunity to discover a higher understanding. Find a sacred altar where others who came before you have prayed and found wisdom, and make your offering there. Make a commitment to walk with courage, love and compassion until you see with clarity the perfection of all. Wow. When the Holy Mountain shows up, it's a time to be active. Do not let your doubts deter you and keep you bound. This is a time to leap over challenges and to remember that from the top of the mountain there are no obstacles, only beauty and an unobstructed view of the entire earth. Isn't that interesting? So this is about seeing the higher purpose, seeing what's really happening here, really understanding the lessons that you are learning, rather than feeling the suffering and the pain. Very, very interesting. Have a great day.